All right. Let's see. On behalf of Admiral Blofswin, I thank you for your many deeds in service to Limsa. On behalf of my people, I thank you for your efforts in delivering the star from catastrophe. Unfortunately, we have received tiding troubles from beasts akin to those plagued by Rads at hand, have been sighted on the Lenoshan coast. The Admiral has mustered the maelstrom in hopes of quelling the threat. Yet there is much we do not understand about our foe, and as such, your expertise in this arena would be a great boon to us. Will you help us? Can I just say no and just get the quest done to begin with? All right, let's see here. All right. Um, set sail for Limsa. Oh, and I just left from there. Let's see if my return's up. It is. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Where do I gotta go? Maelstrom Command. I think that's... Oh, okay. Let's see. Aft Castle. Wait a minute. Ah. Our man in Rads at hand told us to expect you. I'll inform the Admiral of your arrival. Glad you could join us, Necro. I only wish it were under better circumstances. The grave news from the bounty has not escaped our ears. I can scarce believe to imagine the horrors you have witnessed there. Although you and your scions have averted the final days, blasphemies continue to appear in certain regions, Hildebrand among them. Tell them what we know. The first report came in a few days ago from one of our men patrolling Skull Valley. He spoke of a fearsome creature unlike any native to our shores. While we had our suspicions, it was only later that the connection to the final days was confirmed by most unlikely source, the Sahagin. We have been treating their temperate for some time now, and many have made a full recovery. Owing to this, some fractions are eager to improve diplomatic relations with Limsa. It is one such faction that has provided the most comprehensive reports in all their alarming detail. They speak of the most dreadful sight, their spawn brothers transforming into horrific beasts before their very eyes. Indeed, it is far too similar to the incident in Rads at hand to be a mere coincidence. If our assumptions are correct, the first and most formidable beasts, a blasphemy as it was decided we would call them, prowls our waters as we speak. We have been spared at final days, but so long as this abomination remains to harry to us, we cannot truly say the storm has passed. Fortunately, there have been no sightings of the blasphemy within the city. Nevertheless, if we are to spare our people the horror that befell Rads at hand, the fiend must be dealt with, and quickly. Despite our investigations, we remain much of the dark as to the precise nature of the threat we face. Were we to recklessly dispatch a large number of troops, we run the risk of having our own men corrupted. You can well imagine the carnage that would ensue. As such, the Admiral has decided to keep those involved to a minimum and lead the investigation herself. And I would have you at my side. What would you say? You have my thanks. We will depart at once to meet the Sahagin allies and gather what knowledge we can. We might devise a proper plan of attack. They are due to arrive at the South Tide Gate soon. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. Oh, let's see. Um, okay, I actually got a port there. Unless... Alright, let's see here. Merrowib. It's well past our agreed meeting time, but the Sagan are nowhere to be seen. They do not seem to the sorts to break their word. This bodes ill. Let us leave this place to the guards and search Halfstone for any sign of them. Null is in danger. Quickly, to his aid. Wait, what? The fate confused me for a second there. I thought that little dude right next there was what I needed to do. Alright, let's see here. Psst, many thanks, shore walker. Pray tell, is my companion safe? I don't know. The Admiral herself comes to our aid. Glad tidings indeed. You too have my boundless gratitude for saving my life. Let us quit this place before the beast returns. Everyone is still alive. Good. But not if we stay here out too long. Inside, quickly. Thanks to you, my friends, this ghastly beast would have made short work of us had you not intervened. And yet it brought me no joy to watch them die, for unbelievable as it may sound, until a short time ago they were none other than our very own spawn brothers. At first, we thought them mere cursed, but talismans and magics availed us not. Aye, 'twas no curse. 'Twas an evil like none other. Innocent souls transformed against their will into unholy beasts called blasphemies. Blasphemies? Pray tell us more. That would be your area of expertise, Necro. They're beasts. They eat you up. Turned into beasts by the power of despair. This is horrifying indeed. Thus far, the phenomenon here at Lenosha has been limited to the Sahagan. Why is that? I cannot say, yet I wonder if the crushing tide are involved in some way. I know not of the crushing tide. Word of them has yet to reach you, I see. It has all began when the Indigo Matriarch, the queen of our kind, was stricken with the grave malady. Tragic as this was, there was one small solace. She was not fond of shore walkers, and so, deprived of her leadership, more of my kind came to see the wisdom in making peace with the Minza. There remain, of course, those who would oppose our cause. They form a group called the Crushing Tide. Even now they seek to summon the Lord of the Hole anew and consign all finless ones to an Abrini deep. However, they lack the crystals necessary to do so. Denied the power they crave, they are not to do but gnash their teeth in desperation. And you suspect these feelings of helplessness are the cause of their transformations. Just so. Those are our spawn brothers who turned into beasts and had been fraternizing with the Crushing Tide. Despite our differences, we cannot abandon our kin to such a cruel fate. Yet we must be careful not to drive them to still deeper despair. Yes, we must consider this situation carefully lest we bring destruction upon all our kind. Tell me this, are the Crushing Tide even now a Leviathan's thrall? If freed from the downed state, might they not listen to reason? Were it only so simple, all but a few are long since cured. They walk this path on their own free will. In that case, they may yet be dissuaded from their present course. For the sake of our nascent alliance, we will do all we can to save your brethren. Fortunately, a most capable ally stands with us, for this man has bested the most formidable foe, including Leviathan. Psst! The great Necro in the flesh. Honored I am to stand in your presence. Together, we will weather the storm and usher a new age of harmony. This I swear. There is much to be done. For now, let us return to our homes and prepare as best we can for the trials ahead. Should we discover aught of value, we will be sure to share it with you. I ask that you do the same. Indeed we shall. Until such time, I watch over my spawn brothers and pray that no more succumb to the change. Alright, 2 minutes, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. Trying to get these knocked out before 6-1. I don't know. Oh, it's gonna be close. Very skipper. Alright, Limza Lominza. Okay, let's see. Maelstrom Command. At Castle. Man, her top's pretty neat. I wish I could, like the one that you get in the Grand Company, I wish it was dyeable. The Admiral told me everything. Thanks to the Navigator that you were there to dispatch those terrible beasts. Oh. Welcome back. Thanks to you and Noel, I now possess a proper understanding of the challenges we face. 'Tis a daunting task that lies before us. We'll continue to cooperate with this Hagen to learn all we can. Once we have located the blasphemy, I will have need of your strength. Till then, I ask that you remain at the ready. Clearly, the storm clouds have only begun to gather. Your timing could not be better. The Admiral has just this moment returned from a meeting with the Sahagin. I shall inform her of your arrival. Ah, Necro. I'm glad you're here. We have decided on our next course of action. As you know, we face two distinct but interconnected challenges. The transformations occurring among the Sahagin may be one, but the blasphemy itself is the root of the problem. Thus far, Those who succumb to the challenge have all been affiliated with the Crushing Tide, who continue to resist our diplomatic efforts. Were we to put a stop to the phenomenon as well as we address their grievances, we may yet have a chance at peace. To that end, I would propose a double-pronged approach. On one front, we shall work in tandem with our Sahagan allies to redouble our patrols. Should the blasphemy surface, we shall share this knowledge and move immediately to dispatch the threat. At the same time, we will pursue a dialogue with the Crushing Tide. We need to bring them back to the negotiating table and then see what we can be done to convince them to stand down. A key point will no doubt be the lingering issue of securing land for the spawning grounds. 'Tis a discussion I intend to approach with an open mind. It will be no easy tasks, but we succeeded with the kobolds, and I have faith that we will succeed with the Sahagan as well, so long as we parley in good faith. Okay. You are wise to temper your expectations, but I would not abandon hope ere we try. At any rate, Null sent the word of the one Tao, a priest who styles himself the leader of the Crushing Tide, who's grudgingly agreed to hear us out. I will parley with him face to face at the Sapa spawning grounds, and would have you at my side if you do not object. That is. Excellent. In that case, pray join me at South Tide Gate when you're ready. From there, we will go together. Alright. And my hotbars are all messed up. Oops. Okay. All prepared, are you? Tao is not known for his patience. We must take care not to incur his ire. I was told we would be at the spawning grounds upon our arrival, but it appears he has been delayed. Let us speak with the Sahagan here. Maybe one of them will be able to shed light on what we may be keeping him. One more thing. I come here as a representative of Limsa on a diplomatic mission. Should the talks deteriorate and things come to blow, I cannot be seen to the bloody at my hands. I trust you understand. And with that, let's be off. Oh, it's another follow quest. God dang it. You better know how to sprint. Because we ain't taking our time through here. Alright. What is this? Since when are we filthy shore rockers free to intrude upon our sacred spawning grounds? Pray forgive our intrusion. We seek an audience with the Speaker Tao. Where might we find him? You will do no such thing, Shorewalker. We have not forgotten what you did to Lord Leviathan. Begone! We won't get much out of this one. Let's try elsewhere. Psst! Why do you trespass on our domain, fighter Shorewalkers? We mean you no harm. We come only for a peaceful parley with your leader, Master Tao. Where might we find him? Psst! We desire no parley with the shorewalkers who would steal our home. Were it not for your insatiable selfishness, we Sahagan would grow and flourish. Your grievances are justified. This is why I would speak with Master Dao and work towards a peaceful solution. Psst, empty words from a thieving shorewalker, but so be it. Soon you shall learn the futility of your efforts. Speaker Dal is currently overseeing security at the spawning grounds. You will find it by the entrance, though mark my words, you will wish you hadn't. We shall see. Thank you for your aid. Alright, let's go, Merylwib. Move those legs. Alright, Dao. Shorewalkers in our spawning grounds. To what do I owe this displeasure? Speaker Dao, I presume. Our apologies for entering into your home unannounced. I am Merylwib, Chief Admiral of Limsa Lominsa, and this is Necro. We come seeking a parley that we might strive for a peace between our peoples. Parley, you say? Prolonging this conflict any further will lead only to needless suffering. The menace both our peoples face is great indeed. If ever there was a time to set aside our differences and come together for the greater good, it is now. I invite you to join us at South Tidegate for formal negotiations. Shorewalkers and Sahagan coming together. What assurances do I have that you will not slit our gills the moment we set foot within your territory? I can offer naught but my word. We open our gates to you and invite you into our home as a show of respect. I do not trust you, Shorewalker, but never let it be said that the hour of the crushing tide was a coward. I accept your offer, but any attempt in treachery or subterfuge, and I and your people would drown in their own blood. Very well, Master Dao. I look forward to a productive discussion. Let us return, then. I shall send word to Noel as well, and I will have our Sahagan allies join us at the parley. Okay. Thank gosh we don't have to walk all the way back. Follow quests. I mean, I guess it puts more realism into it, but just like, at least we didn't have to get seen from that whole thing. That would have been even worse. Ugh. Oh, Yoda, are you? I didn't know you were on the channel. We love follow quests. Who's this we? Talking about you and your other characters? Thank you for joining us here, Master Dao. Psst, the air here sickens me, bit brief. Oh, hold on a second, I got pinged somewhere. Aye. Let us get straight to the matter at heart. Or the heart at matter. A common threat looms before us, one more powerful than any primal, with the potential to bring death without end to both the Sahagan and Lominsan alike. These circumstances call for swift and united action. You doubt our intentions, but I remind you that we have liberated many of your kin from Leviathan's enthrallment, and the countless other Sahagan have joined us, of their own free will, that we might ensure the survival of both our peoples. Psst! Aye, by the deeds have the Lominsans proven themselves worthy of our trust. Master Dao, you and your crushing tide only want to secure the future for your people. I say to you that this can only be done by confronting this threat together. Psst, threats, threats. What is this threat you speak of? If it is the unity you crave, then submit yourself to our command. Be as the serpent reavers. They are the only shorewalkers I deign to call friend. You would ask us to willingly surrender ourselves to your Lord of the World. I do, for that, and that alone, will ensure peace between us. Preposterous! You propose not alliance but servitude. This way lies nothing but death for all Sahagan. Do you hear this, my spawn brothers? The shorewalkers have stolen this one's mind. He decries Lord Leviathan and espouses the lunacy of our sworn foes. These treacherous wretches have abandoned our God and conspired to drive we faithful from our ancestral home. We must not let this stand. Psst, for shame, forsaken by our spawn brothers, they side with the finless ones in the blasphemous and blasphemy our Lord Leviathan. They who steal our spawning grounds and slaughter our children, our future, our future. Mother of pearl. Psst, behold, behold this blessing. Lord Leviathan grants us greater and greater strength. You would call this a blessing? Psst, such whores. Flee, flee for your lives. A guy takes off. He ain't gonna make it far. The beast makes for Elport. I leave this place to you. Psst, splendid, splendid. Let all our spawn brothers be blessed with such power. Now I gotta try to remember how to Reaper. Okay, let's see here. Oh wait a minute. I got desk design first. Desk design, and that, and that, and that. Oh, it's dead. Okay. Psst. This is the second time you saved my life, Shorewalker. My gratitude is as boundless as the sea. But what of the Admiral? We must go to her aid. I don't know what you're talking about, Yoda. I've been working hard. There's no shame here. Oh, there she is. Been trying it. I was too late. I'm sorry. Psst, there's no need for apologies. You're not responsible for my people's plight. But what I cannot fathom is Dao's response. How pleased he was to see his brothers become slavering beasts. The fool believes it's a blessing from Leviathan himself. Any hope for a peaceful pollution will be lost to Dao, will be lost should Dao and his crushing tide manage to wield these transformations as a weapon against us. I shudder at the very thought, and yet the true threat, the blasphemy, is still out there, yes? Just so. The first ones to transform are those who have fallen into the deepest depths of despair. The more painful their anguish, the more fearsome and formidable they become in the bestial forms, and the greater their influence over others. We cannot scarcely hope to stand against a legion of such foes. Would that there was more my people could do to help. I will have the Maelstrom patrol to seize for the blasphemy, that we might slay, and with all due haste. But this will be amount to naught. If the blasphemy too was born from a Sahagan, it could be sheltering in the depths beyond the reaches of our ships. In that case, pray allow my spawn brothers and I to serve as your eyes beneath the sea. Thank you, Noel. Though our efforts combined, we might yet weather this threat. As for your as for your brothers who gave their lives today for our cause, I shall see that they are returned home to be laid to rest as they deserve. Psst, you have my gratitude, Admiral. And with that, we shall return quickly. There is much work to be done, and we should see it done quickly. Okay. No, not a fate. Alright. How much do you think that pod mount is going to cost from the gold saucer? Ah, Necro. I was just sharing our findings. So you see, the danger is exactly as the Sahagan described. While Tao and his ilk have no means of forcibly triggering the phenomenon at present, it is plain do they not intend to seek it out. Redouble our patrols offshore and inform me at the first sign of anything out of the ordinary. It shall be done, Admiral. I worry that we may be stretching ourselves too thin. Should the situation take a turn for the worst, I will recall our forces from Garlemeld, yet I would reserve this as a last resort. For now, I must get to work securing reinforcements. I ask that you remain close by. We may have need of your strength all too soon. I'm thinking maybe 750 to a million. Be nice if it was 250k, yeah. I just don't see it being that cheap. The Admiral left you a message for you, and the news is not good. It appears that a Leminsian merchant ship was assailed by a Sahagan raiding party affiliated with the Crushing Tide. To further complicate matters, the vessel in question was carrying a shipment of crystals supplied by us by the Kobold of Orgomoro. So I have a quick question, Yoda, about the lore. So I kind of did some of the Sahagan beast tribe long time ago, but I never really got like the story. Is there any? I'm just curious. I'll get to it at some point. But is there any Crushing Tide lore in the Sahagan beast tribes from A Realm Reborn? Or is this kind of like new stuff they're throwing at you? The Admiral suspects that Tao means to use the plundering crystals to summon Leviathan. She has gone to meet with Null, that we and our Sahagan allies might take swift action. Well, it wasn't going to be too expensive. Define too expensive. They might be like, yeah, a million's not really that expensive. Pray make for the South Tide Gate and rendezvous with Admiral Blovswin at once. Oh, come on, Yoda, you can tell me. You can basically say, yeah, there's lore, or no, there's not. This is new. And then that's it. Probably not over a mil. Yeah, I don't think it'll be over a mil. I think it'll be either 1 million or a little less. All the beast tribes have lore. um, I mean, yeah, they do. I'm just curious if the Crushing Tide lore is part of the Sahagan beast tribe. I'm sure it is. It's got to be. Well, you know what that means. Quick 10-minute YouTube video to have it explained out. Thank you for coming, Necro. The situation is grim. The Crushing Tide plundered one of our trading ships and seized a goodie stash of Ogomoro crystals. Though their aim is clear, it appears they yet lack the quantity needed to perform the summoning. Tao longs for the days when the Sahagan cried out for Lord Leviathan's deliverance, and will stop at nothing to see them return. I cannot fathom what the crushing tide are thinking, what satisfaction, what happiness can be found in giving over their hearts and minds to a false god. And so we must thwart their designs, lest the bonds we have forged be forever broken. By the same token, we cannot ignore the blasphemy, nor the transformations its presence may bring about. A battle on two fronts, neither of which we can commit at the expense of the other. As we sail into the eye of the storm, I would hear your counsel. What course of action would you propose? Shit. Company of Heroes. Oh god, do we get to Levitabus? Hopefully we get that guy with us. The Company of Heroes. Now that's a name I have not heard in some time. It's true, they answered the call many a time. Indeed, other than you and yours, you are arguably none better suited to the task of primal slaying. But they disbanded over 5 years ago, and neither hide nor hair has been seen of their commander since. Aye, absent their leader, I suspect they will be reluctant to join our cause. And yet, I can think of no better option. I'll contact Westgat, their erstwhile commander's right-hand man, and see if he will not hear us out. I will ask him to meet us at the Drowning Winch. Let us hope he is receptive to our offer. No, might I trust you and your brothers to continue the search for the blasphemy in the meantime? But of course, Admiral. Should we discover anything, you will be the first to know. Oh, don't be upset, Yoda. It's not it's not the end of the world if I just YouTube some lore. It just helps me understand the story better. But I'm not doing that this time. I'm not rushing straight to endgame. I'm doing all the I guess me wait until the last minute to do this shows that I waited till like that I basically rushed to endgame first. But I did not rush through the MSQ. I did the MSQ in its fullest. I just waited. The role quests weren't priority at the time. The raids were. But you know, I had a plan. It just took me a while to level up. That's all. I do appreciate you watching, though. You're like one of my only friends that does on a pretty consistent basis. My apologies for the delay. Ah, so you're alone. And here I swore 5 years ago that I was done playing hero. You know, these would have been the best NPCs to frickin' add for the A Realm Reborn trusts. I don't know if they had one of every class, but like, I'm sure for lore reasons they probably couldn't have because you're not introduced to him so early on, but like, it still would have been cool to have something like that, you know? Could someone explain what this is all about? Believe it or not, I'm a respectable man with respectable obligations these days. Take that polearm out of your ass, old friend, and stop pretending that you're still not a murderous bastard at heart. Watch that wicked tongue of yours, Udoot, lest I skewer it and prove you right. Ah, nothing like a reunion with dear companions over a bottle of Fetch's finest vintage. That is why we're here, right? Psst, Scott, long time no I catch. Uplanders, Rayflox tummy tickled to see gobber friends again. Thank you for assembling on such short notice. Spare us the pleasantries, Admiral. Why are we here? I make a simple request. Reform the company of heroes and lend Limsa Lominsa your strength. You've a reason, I'm sure. I would hear it. I think they should have still had the basic class NPCs as the trusts. The class NPCs would have really been good, like the gladiator trainer, all of them. I think that would have been really cool too. So there you have it. A terrible fiend known as the Blasphemy prowls our seas, transforming the Sahagin into ravening beasts. At the same time, the Sahagin themselves, specifically a hostile faction calling themselves the Crushing Tide, has declared their intention to summon Leviathan anew. Should they succeed, we would be hard-pressed to deal with the Primal while we're still dealing with other threats. A right pickle indeed. But the answer is no. The commander disbanded the company, and his first mate, it's not my place to gainsay his final order. Sod that, I say. Have you forgotten the company's creed? To the duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Are the people now in danger not the same men and women we fought to defend years ago? The commander would not have turn his back on them, and neither should we. Listen, Jack, well, I'm sure he's a cool dude. It's an optional quest. I've never done that, so I don't know who it is. Bold words, Landale. But do you truly believe that we can honor them as we are? Old mercenaries past their prime, lacking a commander whose wisdom and prowess saw them to glory once upon a time? Ah, yes, your commander. What if Necro here were to lead you in his stead? Surely you would not question his abilities. An intriguing proposition. I, for one, would not be averse to serving under such decorated hero. Psst, Gabi friend here has a good head for fighty think, and goody arms for thinky fight. As a ringing endorsement as any, but I would hear it from the man himself. Do you believe capable of leading the company of heroes into battle? If you the stones to follow me. Now that's the confidence I expect from my commander. Very well, then consider us yours to lead. "5 years to the day, truth be told. I was enjoying a more leisurely life, but when duty calls... Wait, before we proceed, I must ask, have we no way of reaching out to the commander? Forgotten how he took his leave, have we? Up and vanished so we could each find our way apart, or find our own way, apart from him and the company. I doubt we'll see him again, much as I wish we could. The matter at hand, the mission you will undertake. First, you are to aid us in tracking the blasphemy that roams the seas. Second, you must provide the Crushing Tide with summoning Leviathan at all or prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning Leviathan at all costs. Oh, is that all? And there I thought that we might get our feet wet with a real challenge here. But in all seriousness, we should take care to decide who attends to what. Sounds like a job for our acting commander. I'm sure he'll give it all due consideration. All right. So, if I understand this correctly, we're going to bring down the so-called blasphemy. Of course, to do that, we need to find the damn thing first. We also got to prevent the crushing tide from summoning their god Leviathan, a tall order in and of itself. As acting commander, it's your job to decide who will be doing what, based on the skills we have to offer. I'd recommend that you start by having a chat with each of us, that you might develop a sense of the strengths and weaknesses, mostly strengths, of course, of the storied veterans under your command. I was pushed, Yoda, and you know it. Because you did it. My specialties, you ask? Why, impaling fiends with the lance of mine, of course. The stronger the foe, the better. None are a match for me. It would be folly to waste my talents on dealing with those slippery fishermen. Set me aside against that so-called blasphemy, and I'll have the thing on a skewer before you can say Merriwood Blowswin. Pursue, slaying the blasphemy. A wise choice. Send Landale after the Sahagin, and he's like to help them summon Leviathan to set his bloodlust. I will speak plain. I am not some battle-crazed barbarian like Lanthel. As none of the Ua tribe of peerless hunters, I conduct my affairs with discipline and prudence. As such, I know better than any that a rush headlong into battle is rarely the best course of action. Far wiser it is to observe from afar and proceed with caution. Alright, so you're going to prevent the primal summoning. Very astute, if I do say so myself. There are few better suited to the task of averting needless bloodshed than the famously circumspect Uda Newton. As you well know, my vision is somewhat lacking these days. I can still defend myself when necessary, but I'd rather it not come to that. My condition also leaves me rather unsuited to scouting and searching. It wasn't always the case, but such is life. On the other hand, I'd like to think I've gotten quite good at sounding out the intentions of others during negotiations and the like. Oh, man. Yeah, you're gonna help prevent primal summoning. You have a keen sense of these things, I see. More so than reconnaissance of battle. Shamani here has a knack for working behind the scenes to see the company's goals achieved. Psst, Scott. Brayflock's master remaker of Illuminati treasures offers a much hand-lending with ingenuity. Far-seeing spyglasses seen far into the ocean deep. Crackfires go boom and blast beast into tiny pieces. Kind of. I'm not sure. I think he said like it sounded like pursuing and slaying the blasphemy. A logical choice, if I do say so myself. Brayflox's mastery of tools and armaments will sure avail you in tracking and felling that beast. It would seem everyone has their assignments. And I dare say the choices you made are nigh impeccable. If I didn't know better, I think you've been leading us for years. And with that, it's time we got to work. I have procured link pearls for one and all, that we can keep each other apprised of our progress. You may pick them up from Maelstrom Command. We'd best be off then. Should we have need to regroup and reconsider our strategy, call for us. I will return to command and share these developments here with the Secretariat of our Sahagan friends. Do join me if you can, Commander Nick. What should call Commander? Damn. The Company of Heroes. Let's see where we're going. Ugh. So how was your day today, Yoda? Ah. Necro. The Admiral has apprised me of the situation in full. Furnish Necro with the link, bro. Yes? Of course, Admiral. It would seem the company is trying to reach us. It was a pretty slow day for you? Well, that's good. Ho there, Commander. Just gave the word and I'll come a-running. Lower your goddamn voice, will ya? Watch your tongue, or I'll track you down and rip yours out. They sound more like mortal enemies than old companions. That's where Necro comes in. I'm trusting you'll whip them back into shape. Make them a force to be reckoned with. I will have the Secretariat contact you if there are any developments. I would convey to them the entire company by link pearl, but we cannot afford anyone taking reckless action. In the meantime, I will reach out to Noel and see if what he has gleaned about the crushing tide in their hideout. Let us hope for good tidings, Commander. All right. Oh. Great news, Necro. We just received word that the Candlekeep Quay is under attack. Oh, grave news. Not great news, man. I need to put my glasses on. It would seem the crushing tide has struck again. The Admiral asks that you deploy your company of heroes at once. Our man here will act as your signaler. The company of heroes is awaiting your orders. Candlekeep Quay. Both Landale and Uanu should be close by. What are your instructions? Okay, let's see here. Landale is a hot-headed warrior who lives for the thrill of battle, while Uanu is a calm and calculating hunter. Both can serve you well, but better if assigned to the tasks suited to their skills. Okay, let's see here. Okay, what orders will you give to Landale? Drive the crushing tide away. Consider it done, Commander. And Uendale see the residents to safety. Understood. The rest of us will head out there at once. I'll tell the Admiral you and the company of heroes are on your way. Godspeed. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Is that where I gotta go? That is not where I gotta go. I gotta go to Moresby Dry Docks, which... Okay. Alright, let's see here. Worry not. The tide has already ebbed, if you follow my meaning. Perhaps you're curious how your men carried out your orders. You'll be pleased to hear that Landale led the attack with characteristic aplomb, dancing among his foes with such speed and ferocity that were dazzling to watch. Udo Noon made full use of his talents in leading the rescue effort. Not a single man, woman, or children suffered as much as a scratch. I had my doubts at first, but you passed your first trial as acting captain with flying colors. The battle is over, I see. It is good to see the company of heroes can still live up to its name. I demand answers. Why did you target the Candaqueep Quay? Psst, I spit on your questions, filthy shorewalker. I was hoping we might do this the easy way, but if you insist. Psst, you would torture us. You shorewalkers are all the same. Savage brutes, the lot of you. Torture, please. We are all not so uncivilized as that, my slippery friend. Psst. Brayflock shiny treasures will have your fishermen trading tongue flaps in no time. Allow me to explain. Shamani Lamani and Brayflocks are well practiced in the art of interrogation. Shamani is a sharp mind, as I'm sure you've noticed, has a knack for getting information out of uncooperative types with minimal fuss. Brayflocks, on the other hand, her methods can be unconventional, to say the least, but it's hard to argue with the results. So, I actually didn't know that Brayflocks was a female. Probably skipped over that detail a while back ago. Well, Commander, the choice is yours to make. Alright, let's see here. Oh. Shamani Lamani. But of course, Commander, watch as I get him talk without so much as lifting a finger. No, not 19 characters. So they tell me your kind are particularly fond of Lamotian oranges. Might I interest you in a glass of delightful orange wine brewed from our latest harvest? Psst, psst, this is another glass, Shorewalker. I demand it in return for the crimes you have committed against my spawn brothers. A mere glass, my friend? Why, I'd be more happy to offer you a full bottle, nay, an entire cask, if you provide us with the answers we seek. We have a deal, Shorewalker. For a cask of that blissful beverage, I will tell you all my secrets. Again, I ask, why did you target Candlekeep Quay? Tao himself gave the order. Said we must establish a foothold in preparation. You're making me laugh, Yoda. In preparation for our assault on the city. He means to attack Limsa Lominsa itself, but with your numbers, it would be folly. Speaker Dao commands power beyond the comprehension of you shorewalkers. We have dealt with Leviathan before. Oh. You misunderstand. Speaker Dao says it's great power still, the very first being blessed by our Lord. The blasphemy. Tell me where Dao is. An island to the far south and east. There, he performs the rite that will summon forth the Divine One and deliver my brothers to its glory. Thank you for your cooperation. I suspect that Tao is hiding out somewhere in the citadels. A deserted isle, most likely. I don't know much about these so-called blasphemies, but can they truly be tamed so easily? We have no evidence they can, but we must operate under the suspicion that Tao has found a way. I will ready a ship, and we set sail for the citadels at once. Prepare yourselves, and meet me at the docks as soon as you're ready. I'll have Shemai and Braflox here continue the interrogation in the meantime. Our friends here might still be hiding something from us. See, Yoda, this is how this is supposed to work, right? Like, I already have to make a third character because I have failed uh, your MSQ quiz, right? However, the point is, in making that third character, to relearn some of the MSQ. So if after my third character I still mess up MSQ stuff, then that's where you're like, um, maybe make another character. But that's not gonna be the case because after this third character, I'm gonna have all the MSQ completely memorized. Maybe not memorized, but I'll know a great deal of it. Let's see here. Everyone is here. Good. We make for the Citadels in search of Dao's hideout. Our friend Noel will be waiting for us there. The blasphemy, too, may be present. Be vigilant and keep your weapons at the ready. Well, Commander, do you have any words for our men at the eve of the battle? The duty of the strong, all for one. Is to protect the weak. I'm glad I remembered that. Hopefully I remember it. Hold on a second here. I just got a text. We meet again now. Where is the blasphemy? Tell us now that we might end this madness. Hehehehe. Holy shit. Speak of the bloody devil. Psst, there it is, the dread beast I saw beneath the waves. The source of our woes. The echo of all the times. Defend the commander. I bring great tidings, my queen. The wretched shorewalkers poisoned the minds of my spawn brothers with false words and foul magics. Our poor beguiled brethren renounce the Lord Leviathan and name him a false god. They treat with Limsa Lominsa, and some even call for an alliance. We must summon him, that the lost might receive his blessing anew. This I would gladly do, had our stock of crystals not run dry. Spawning time is nearly upon us, yet you have to fight back and bicker amongst yourselves. How am I to birth new brood with my children grown stand divided? Who dares enter the sacred chamber? Forgive my intrusion, Queen Mother. I speak for the Sahagan who seek an accord with the shorewalkers. The new age is upon us. We needn't turn to false gods, nor foment bitterness and bloodshed in our precious spawning grounds. The shorewalkers have changed. They endeavor to understand us, to share these lands with us, that they may have peace, and we are spawning grounds. Could this be true? Lies, lies. Do not be deceived by that one's delusions, my queen. He is a heathen who has strayed from Lord Leviathan's light. The shorewalkers are oath-breakers now and forevermore. As they extend one-handed friendship, they clutch a dagger in the other. We are beasts in their eyes, deserving of naught but slaughter. Oh, and for a moment, a blessed moment, I felt the faintest touch of hope. But you are right now. They are demons, and we are the damned. Oh, for woe, my poor child have lost their faith, their minds poisoned by lies, and they turn away from the Lord of the Wool, and cast their lot in with the enemy. 'Tis so, my queen, 'tis so. We will have no choice but to abandon our sacred spawning grounds, and sink to the oceans of the floor to rot and decay. Thou, dearest of my children, you tell them that we have no future. How can I bring new life into this world, knowing that my brood will have their hearts stolen and abandoned? Oh wow, I didn't get to read it all. I cannot. Psst, what is happening? Please, my queen, you must calm yourself. Such power, such power, such beauty, a blessing from Lord Leviathan himself. So this is a blasphemy, eh? I can see what all the fuss about. Have your wits about you? Good. If you can fight, now's the time. Psst! Strike now, my queen. Send the shorewalkers and their honorless leader to the death. What's happening? I can't feel my legs. Why, mother? Are we not your children, too? Damn it! We cannot weather another blow like the last. I still don't know what in seven hells just happened, but I'll be damned if I'm going down without a fight. Steady. The beast is feeding on our aether. Will not survive a head-on fight. Landonale, Udo, remember the company's stratagem when we face the overwhelming odds. Retreat! Retreat! Let's get ourselves the bloody hells out of here. I don't know why that's funny, but I wasn't expecting that. Although it's not level 90 yet, so of course we weren't going to fight the blasphemy. Well, who the hell is that? Damn it all. We had better luck holding back the tide. How goes it, friends? Is what I would normally ask, but judging from the murdering cursing, I gather it did not go well at all. We barely escaped with our lives. To think the damn beast had the power to stop us in our tracks. Literally. What do we know of the creature's origins? Was it once as a Hagen as you suspected? Mayhap the echo afforded Necro some insight. Psst! Tao's villainy knows no bounds, sowing seeds of despair in our Queen Mother's heart, and that she might transform into that monstrosity. If she was the first to turn, then there was nothing deliberate about it. Still, it is clear that his words served as a catalyst. If we kill the blasphemy, it'll be a tantamount thing to killing the Sahagan's king, the queen. That's not going to endear us to them one bit. Psst, I cannot turn my spear against the mother who birthed me, let alone take her life. Out of curiosity, did anyone see who fired that shot? Were it not for them, we'd all be dead. I know not, but we must formulate a plan and quickly. My scouts tell me that the blasphemy has left the island and now roams the open sea. I will order them to continue the search. In the meantime, we must find a means to overcome the beast's formidable offense. Leave that to us. Time and time again, we used our wits to experience triumph over the longest odds. Let's see here. To defeat your enemy first, you must first know your enemy. Tell me, Commander, what do you reckon was the most valuable knowledge we gleaned from our initial encounter? Oh, man. Let's see here. Let's see, that they have the power to absorb ether. It's got to be it. I concur. Now that we know how the beast disables its foes, we can use this knowledge to devise a proper defense against it. But that is not all that we have learned. While the blasphemy can maneuver through the water, it also frequents caves and the like. Our best chance of defeating it would be in such a place. Our only chance, I dare say. I will send scouts to identify any and all large caverns and coastal areas that could serve as shelter for a massive creature. To ensure the safety of our people, and to any hope for peace with the Sahagan, this is the battle that we must win. All your strength and wisdom will be needed for the days to come. Dismissed. Come, let us share our findings with the Maelstrom. Now that we have seen what the blasphemy is capable of ourselves, 'tis more plain to me ever that it must be slain. Reach out to all the trade ships entering and departing Limsa. Inform them that any sightings of the blasphemy are to be reported to Maelstrom Command at once.
Understood, but given the beast's abilities, how do you intend to overcome it?
I trust that the company of heroes and Necro, experienced primal slayers, will find a way. And yet, I would leave no resource untapped. There is one more whose expertise I would call on, if he would disagree, or if he would agree. Even Westgat is at a loss as to his former commander's whereabouts, but mayhaps Enzar could offer some guidance. No doubt you are still fatigued from your battle with the blasphemy. Pray rest while you are able. When we are ready to take further action, you will hear from me. Till then, take care. All right. Oh my goodness, this guy's name is Buff Chest Hair. Nice. Let's see, is this level 90? This is level 89. Holy cow, I still got 2 quests I have to do. Oh man. Alright, I need to get some water really quick. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Out of the shadows. Ah, Necro. I wish I had better news for you, but the blasphemy continues to elude us. Can you hear me, Commander? This is Westcat. I have an idea how we might take down that blasphemy. Meet us at Costa del Sol as soon as you're able. Well, that sounds promising. I'll tell the Admiral that you'll be away for a bit. Godspeed and stay safe. I can get there from here. Oh man, it's like pouring outside. Holy cow. Apologies for having you come all this way. Ever since our encounter with the blasphemy, I've been racking my brain as to find a way to deal with that deliberating attack. Sadly, I come up empty-handed and all my companions fare no better. That's when I started thinking, if only our finest was still with us. He's always had a knack for noticing what the rest of us missed. His eyes were so sharp he could spot a foe's weakness with a single glance. It's thanks to him that we're able to slay both Leviathan and Titan, and live to tell the tale. The rub is, well, he's a bit eccentric, and yes, I know you could say that about all the company members, but unlike us, he prefers to work from the shadows. Truth be told, I've not seen him since the day we disbanded. I doubt he'd help his old comrades even if we asked, but an order from the company's acting commander would be a different story. In our heyday, we had a way of reaching him. Whistle at the forked road, and sooner or later he'd show up. Didn't matter, winter or summer, in broad sunlight or in the dead of night. He'd always be watching from afar. With any luck, he still is now. But I've rambled on enough. Go on now. This may be our best and only hope. Alright, let's see if we can find this dude. And here I was enjoying my retirement. Why'd you have to go and bloody whistle? It's him. Call me Lawrence. I'm the company's resident sharpshooter. At least I was in my day. No need to tell me who you are. I've been watching you for quite some time. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm just curious how my former mates are faring. Not as curious as folks are about me, though. First Westcat, then old Miss Beard himself. Ha! If those codgers ever could catch me. And now Eorzea Storator summons me forth. No need to say why. You're going to ask me to help you take down the blasphemy. Yep. Have you forgotten the duty of the strong? Yeah. Never could refuse whenever someone trotted out those acting words. So tell me, acting commander, what specific duty would you task me with? I trust you do have a plan. I got part of a plan. So you need a way to neutralize the beast's most potent attack. I can tell you like getting up close and personal with your foes, so you'll be needing support from a distance. Who do you suppose might be best suited for that role? I mean, Merweb is pretty badass, but let's see what he says. Damn right. My eyes aren't among the keenest in the realm, and you've doubtless heard that from Westcott. Uh, in pure marksmanship, none in Limsa are the Admiral's equal. Yet Merweb is ill suited for a supporting role. Not for lack of skill, of course, but rather, come to think of it, there's something you should know. Follow me. Hmm. Quite the view, wouldn't you say? I often come here to admire the sea. Well, the weather sucks right now, man. I can barely see the lighthouse out there. If you would, indulge me for a moment and I'll spin you a yarn. Just try not to doze off. Back in piracy's golden age, the League of Lost Bastards ruled the Rotano. I was one of them, as was Merrill. We were led by none other than our old man, Blowswin. He was the most feared captain on the high seas. Feared by his enemies, that is. Stern and unforgiving though he was, he took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. Aye, he was like a father to me, to all of us, to that fateful day. It was in the year 1562 of the Sixth Astral Era. Laminsian merchantmen were struggling with the nigh constant raids of the Sahagan. Around the time Bloiswis had yielded to the day-to-day leadership of the bastards to Merowib, his pride and joy, she was still growing into the role though, and everyone knew that the old captain was still calling the shots. Old Blofwis had a noble streak, he did. Ordered us to defend the traders from the fishbacks. Merowib led the effort, and we fought day after day to keep the sea safe. The fighting was fierce, but we always came out of it in one piece. Until we didn't. Until after a skirmish, a Sahagan survivor with his last breath summoned forth the Lord of the Whirl. The great beast toppled our masts and cracked the keel like an egg. We clambered aboard the merchantman as our own ship sank. Not to do, but wait for the end. But then comes Blowfwist and his bleeding flotilla out of the nowhere to pull us out of the fire. And he did. But the League of Lost Bastards would never be the same again. For even though we escaped with our lives, we soon discovered that Captain Blowfwist, our iron-willed, unwavering leader, had fallen under Leviathan's thrall. Of course, in those days, we didn't know about your drowning or tempering, didn't know what to make of our captain as he grew more haggard by the day and his words devolving into a crazed rambling. And one day, he vanishes, take off with half our men. Not long after, a band of pirates calling themselves the Serpent Reavers began taking prizes in the Indigo Deep along the Sahagan. At their helm was none other than Captain Blowfwist, who cast his lot in with the fishbacks. Merrill knew what had to be done, and to her credit, she didn't shirk from the deed. She acted quickly, sneaking off under cover at night with the skeleton crew, without so much as telling me. Of course, that didn't stop me from stowing myself in the cargo hold and joining her on the voyage. She was none too happy to see me first, wanted to leave me out of it, she said. But seeing as I made myself known when she was struggling to fend off a horde of reavers and fishbacks, it wasn't hard to win her over. Her twin muskets fell on one after the next as my sharpshooting kept her safe from afar. We cut a path to the center of the isle. It was there we found Blowfist, or rather, the miserable wretch he'd been reduced to. All bones with skin shriveled and tangled mat of white hair, eyes bulging from his head like a fish had prayed to the Lord of the world. Oh man. Merle challenged him to a duel, and a dim memory must have flickered in his drowned mind, for he accepted. And so, with only me there to witness it, Merle ended her father's life. The League of Lost Bastards would lived up to its name if it weren't for Merylwood. She assumed full command and restored us to our former glory. Not long after, she triumphed in the Trident and was named Chief Admiral of Limsa Lominsa. I often think back upon that day, seeing her charge into battle, muskets ablazing. Might seem reckless to some, but that's how Captain Blow has taught her, and she knows no other way. That's why I made it my job to support her from the shadows, and it's a role in which I'll happily serve again. I owe that much to her old man. My only doubt was whether you, my friend, were worthy o' commanding me, but watching you from afar has answered that question. Aye, tell Westcat and the rest of my no-good companions that Lawrence stands with them. Man, that's some pretty deep stuff. She had to kill her own dad. Did Lawrence show himself? Yes, he did. Aha! Now there's a surprise. I had some hope that your words might reach him, but I never did imagine he'd agree so readily. Just one thing. I'd appreciate if you didn't mention Lauren's involvement to the company. Landon in particular. They'll find out soon enough regardless. At any rate, this gives us new hope into our battle against the blasphemy. All that remains is to set the snare and lure the beast into our clutches. Our scouts are on the lookout for the creature as we speak. If the latest reports are to be believed, we're drawn even closer. And with that, I'd best get back to it. Can I trust you to report these latest developments to the Maelstrom? Till then, till we meet again, Commander.
The search for the blasphemy continues, though I understand you've been carrying out an entirely different investigation. A marksman by the name of Lawrence, eh? The Admiral will be pleased. Of course, we won't have much call for his skills until the blasphemy is found. Rest well and prepare yourself as necessary in the meantime. Lawrence, why does that name ring a bell? Despite our best efforts, the blasphemy continues to elude us. For the time being, Sorry to interrupt, but I have an incoming communication from Westcat.
Commander, we snared ourselves a blasphemy. We've our erstwhile companion Real to think, knowing that the creature was once the Sahagan Queen, he kept close to an eye on the spawning grounds. Sure enough, he spied a massive black shadow moving beneath the water not long ago. After receiving word, Shimani Lamani directed the Maelstrom warships in the vicinity to head the beast with cannon fire into the Stasha Seagot. Isolated as the Seagrot is, we can engage our foe without putting small folk at risk. Any words for your men, Commander? You don't have to tell me twice. I've been aching for a rematch. Rush him blindly, and it will go as poorly as it did the first time. Ah, knowing you, I'm sure you'll end up just in time to see me deal the killing blow. Now, Can we not save our vitriol for the quarry, which I've lured into the perfect spot and is now waiting patiently for y'all to put it out of its misery? Brayflock Scoby Brooms, blast over Big Blasphemy into bitty pieces. A motlier crew never find, but will serve you well when the battle is joined, believe you me. This is Marrowweb. I'll ready a warship at once. Assemble outside the winch once you've all seen to your preparations. So the time has come. I shall pray for your victory. All right. The others should be along soon. Okay. The blasphemy is still contained within the Sahagan Sea Grot. There it will meet its end, navigator willing.
Would that my brothers and I could join you in the fight, and yet blasphemous though it may be, the beast was once our mother.
I understand, Noel. Forgive us for what we must do. Were there a means to reverse the transformation, we would all do it in our power to bring your mother back. Sadly, there is nothing left of her to save. For the future of the Sahagan and Limsa alike, the blasphemy must be laid to rest. And when the deed is done, I would bring your brothers, even the crushing tide, aboard the great ship we call Vildebrand. I do not want to slay your mother, but this thing she has become, a mindless beast who has enslaved and killed her own. It's an affront to the memory of who she was. It's not her. It is not. Remember this always. You must. I will not ask you to shoulder the burden of matricide. When the time comes to strike the final blow, I will do the deed.
Admiral, all you say is true, and yet...
Commander, I've sighted a group of fishbacks, crushing tide most like, heading straight for the sea grot. You best make your way here and fast. Time to move out, then. Any words for your men before we set sail? Don't go dying on me out there. Yeah. Our new commander sounded more and more like the old one. But enough talk. Let's show the realm the company of heroes hasn't lost a step. Aye. We'll stand a better chance of slipping past the crushing tide if we split up. Necro and I will go together while the rest of you take a different route. Let us book no further delay. To Satasha.
Psst, my queen, I beg you, show your loyal son mercy.
Oh, man. It's Tao, or what's left of him.
Speaker Dao, why would our queen do such a thing? It is as the shorewalkers say, what we thought is a blessing in truth is a terrible curse. The whore, we must away at once. And lead the shorewalkers to face our queen mother alone? No, I will stand with them.
You mustn't sully your hands with the blood of your mother. Go and be with your kin. Go. Forgive me. I was beginning to think you wandered off a cliff, Lawrence. Must you say it like that? I prefer to think of myself as fashionably late. But enough talk. It comes. Alright, let's see here. Wait a minute. Aha! Holy cow. Oh man. Ah, shit. Wait. How are we gonna finish him off quickly? Hmm. Let's see. Let me read what they said. Absorbing their aether, we best finish those beasts quickly. Defend us with your blade. Absorbing the aether. Let me try that again. I wonder if I gotta fight him from the front or something. Ah, damn it. Damn it. Oh man. I don't know what Soul Shroud is supposed to do. Alright, so let's see here. I didn't mean to press that. Hmm. I So I think the first time I probably just wasn't in the little thingy when it went off. I don't know. I will not ask for your forgiveness, but this I promise you. You will be remembered for the mother you were.
Admiral, I have no words. Our Queen Mother returns to the depths to eternal slumber. With your strength, you could have crushed us easily. Why, why did you spare our lives?
The beast and blasphemies are born from despair in our hearts, but no more. I would break the cycle. Though Tao may have been blind to it, I believe in a future where Sahagan and Laminza can live in harmony. Even after losing who she was, your queen made for your spawning grounds, and it is there she drew her last breath. When your next queen is crowned, know that she will have a safe place to raise her young. Once you have selected a suitable location, Limsa Laminza will recognize and honor your claim.
A promise for which we are grateful, Admiral. But what of the other peoples of Ildebrand?
The kobolds are open to the idea. The detail will need to be negotiated, but I am confident we can reach an agreement. Sahagan, Kobold, and Laminzin alike yearn to abide in peace. We can make it so.
Psst. I had never fought alongside shorewalkers before, but I must say, it felt good. We have fought our neighbors for generations. It has won us only suffering and tragedy. I beg you, lay down your spears. Psst.
This will take time and effort to bridge the gulf between our peoples, but bridge it we shall. I dare say. We have a lot of talking to do as well, don't we, Commander Lawrence? Ah, Lanadale, if you just allow me to explain. Let us be off before they drag us into this mess. Perfect timing, acting commander. You must save me from this bloodthirsty bastard. Well, Lawrence, let's hear your excuse, and it better be a good one. Why in the seven hells were you skulking about in the shadows while we did all the dirty work? Ha! Like you'd lot be any happier if I showed you myself sooner.
I can hear you whining now. What? You didn't think we could handle this on our own? Aye, I'll be bloody furious regardless. Don't you think I've forgotten what happened, or rather, didn't happen, on the day of our duel? Even though the future of the company hung in a balance, I waited and waited and waited for some goddamn more, and you never turned up. But I've got you now, and I will have satisfaction. Given Lauren's penchants for late arrivals, I couldn't help but worry too. To say he cut it fine would be an understatement. And not by choice as usual. My scouts observed him roaming through Costa del Sol not long ago. It would seem our commander's willful sense of direction has not improved in the least. I'm honestly surprised you never realized, Landell, that it was to blame for his extreme tardiness that the commander did indeed arrive at the agreed-upon location for your duel, after the sun had risen and set half a dozen times. Navigator, take me, Shamani. You promised that you would stay between the two of us. Ah, Brayflocks. You have a kind word or two for your old commander, don't you? Commander Lawrence, commander no more. New commander, friend to Gobbies everywhere. Does many sweat folks for Gobby kind. Sweat works. Yeah, and there I thought you were too much of a coward to face me in battle. Come on, Landonell. You know me better than... Then it's settled. We fight here and now. On your guard. Put that thing down, I say. You could hurt someone with it. Hard to believe he was once the glue that held this merry band together. That's right. If you hadn't realized the obvious, Lawrence is our former commander. Forgive me for not stating it plainly sooner. I didn't want you to think that we doubted your leadership. He's got his quirks, but as you saw, he's a force of nature on the battlefield. Anyhow, I think we can all say your stint as acting commander has been a rousing success. Now, I reckon it's about time you gave your final order. Company of heroes band break once more. Brayflocks never liked partying with Gobby friends. Hear, hear. I have my complaints, but when we're together, a good fight's never far away. You hardly need a company or a commander to get you that, and should Limsa again be imperiled, there's nothing stopping us from rising to the occasion. Till then, you're all strong enough in your own right. Why not serve the weak in your own ways? Holy cow. Brayflock wants busy works. Brayflock awaits Uplander lift laps. No more cheese wars, please. Brayflock feels heavy heart, but accepts Uplander's bossy words. Brayflock's had good times and happy feels with Gobby friends, but good times will come to an end, and when they do, new boomsticks will bring blasty doom with much fastness. Well, let's hear it, Commander. You owe me a bottle of your finest Bacchus. Indeed, indeed. I mean to return to Wineport as soon as I've tied up a few final loose ends here. Speaking of wine, I've always preferred the older vintages. Left to sleep in their barrels for many a summer, they come out tasting better than ever. One might say the same about our own company. Wait your orders. Look after the you, brave no. I have responsibilities. A tribe that wants for my guidance and protection. I can ill afford to tarry here much longer.
Nevertheless, it is with some regret that I take my leave. For all their faults of which they have, they are companions, and I will miss them. Well, if you've something to say, let's hear it. Return to the whalers and keep the murder into a minimum. Ah, as if I needed you to tell me. Well, I enjoyed the diversion. I know as well as any of my true places in Gridania leading a respectable life. You may not have been the perfect commander, but 12 is my witness. I hope to fight by your side again. Farewell. Alright, Westcat, what do you got? You've had quite the turn of duty, but all good things must come to an end. Any parting words before we go our separate ways? Uh, give Gigiruju my best regards. Finally, I can enjoy some semblance of peace again. At least as much peace as a man can enjoy while waiting hand and foot on the Lord of Costa del Sol. He may have been rough sailing at times, but I rather enjoyed serving under you, acting commander. And on that note, I ought to be on my way. Slipping away again, are we? You're a creature of habit. I resented you for it at the time, but I think I understood now. Better to shun fame and not serve as an example of glory seekers too eager to fight and too quick to die. You're overthinking it. I'm a creature of whimsy, a man who lets the tailwind carry him where it will. But more importantly, this new age belongs to the new blood. I've had my day in the sun. If you succeed in brokering peace with the beastmen, there will be no need to worry about primals, and the company can go into permanent retirement. And then I can say I did right by the old man. If you hadn't been there for the both of us, I don't know if I could have pulled the trigger. Thank you, Lawrence, brother. Ah, I did nothing. It was you who shouldered Captain Bluff's burden, than that of the entire league. I'm sorry, Merylwib. I know it hasn't been easy for you. But I dare say you've worked hard enough. Maybe us company folk aren't the only ones in need of retirement. But I've said too much. Lawrence holding his tongue. Gods, you have changed. But yes, my greatest test as Admiral still lies ahead, as we steer the great ship Vildebrand towards a new future. You truly are your father's daughter. Owe you my thanks too. Dare say you did almost as good a job keeping my men as tasked as I could have done. Call it a hunch, but something tells me our paths may cross again. But forgive me if I carry on like I've never seen you before, so not unlike my old friend Mistbeard, I prefer to keep my past in the past. And with that, I'm off. Take care of yourselves.
The blasphemy is no more, but we will never know lasting peace until the crushing tide agrees to lay down their arms. It will be a daunting task, but as we saw in the Satasha, they are not beyond reason. I will do all in my power to see your efforts, and the sacrifices of my brothers were not in vain. Forgive us, even after being freed from the false god's thrall, still we clutch our hateful beliefs. It was easier to hearken the speaker Dao's every words and turn a blind eye to the harsher truth, easier and cowardly. I will return and speak with my brothers of the crushing tide. I will tell them our Queen Mother's sacrifice and the vision of hope that you have shared with us. I ask only that you give us time and trust us to make our own decision. You have my word. If you would not be averse, let us return to the spawning groups together. Adventurer, I have no words to express my gratitude to you. I will repay you the only way I know I can how.
by doing my part to usher in the age where Shorewalker and Sahagan stand as one. Just us now, it would seem. Ever since we achieved a measured peace with the kobolds, I prayed that this day would come. Though it is, of course, only a beginning. Negotiations must be held, and words exchanged in earnest will invariably lead to flared tempers and bruised egos. But such things always accompany meaningful progress. The history of Ildebrand is one of bloodshed, but we have the power to change our ways. After all, it's clear that we're united more by similarities than we're divided by our differences. I will share with you what I have seen of the Sahagan with my fellow Lominsians and listen closely to their doubts and concerns. For it must be a harmony not foisted upon them from above, but one which they aspire to their own free will. No doubt, Noel and his brothers feel the same. Again, you have come to Limsa's aid, my aid, at a time it was most needed. When we meet again, I hope it will not be as admiral an adventure, but as friends, mayhap trading war stories over ales at the Wench. But for now, I must return to my duties. Drafting reports and decrees is hardly the most exciting part of my role, but it's a necessary one. If you happen to pass through Razadhan, please share your exploits with our delegates there. Doubtless he will be interested to hear your first-hand account. One day I will lay down these muskets of mine for good, but not yet, father. Not yet. Oh, well, that one was really good. I think that was probably my favorite one out of them so far. All right, pray tell, what's the news in my homeland? All's well that ends well. Extraordinary. And any chance of peace with the Sahagan? These are heartening tidings indeed. Without a doubt, you helped us to dispel a pall of despair that once hung over all of Ildebrand. Our people now bask in a newfound hope. I must share the news with the others, full glad that they will be able to hear the threat that Lominsa is no more. Thank you again. All right. Oh, well, I will tackle this one hopefully at some other point in time, but that's it for now.